Here's a situation. You have a spreadsheet with different due dates for projects. What you need is a way to use conditional formatting with icon sets based on a relative reference formula to identify proximity to today's date. I'm using Excel 2010, and if I come up to conditional formatting, I see all these pre-programmed conditional formatting tools that Excel has. Under icon sets, I come down over here, see these different choices. Under shapes, I see traffic lights. This is what I want to use. I want to be able to put a circle, a colored circle, next to each date based on its proximity to today's date and whether or not if the project is finished or not. However, I can't use this tool because this tool will not let you use a relative reference formula. So I'm going to show you a workaround if this is ever your situation. So here are my rules right here. In this column, I'm going to put my circles. So I want a red circle if this rule is true. If this date is behind today's date or past due, I want a red circle. If this column has a 1, I want a black circle. If the date is 60 days out from today's date, I want it yellow. If it's 90 days out, I want it green. If it's between this range, I want it blank. So what I need to do is determine and find a font that is a solid circle. I happen to know in WebDings a small n is a solid circle, so that's what I'm going to use. Also, I notice that some of these don't have dates. If there are no dates, I want nothing to be put in here. So I'm going to need a formula in this cell. I'm going to say if this date is blank, then leave this cell blank. If not, then put in a small n. Here we go, my small n, because there is a date here. Now I got to change this to WebDings. So I come up here, I slide all the way down, I find WebDings, and there we go, a solid circle. The next thing I need to do is write a formula for these rules. So based on these rules right here, I need a formula that is going to return these numbers. And I've already done that. I have it hidden right here, and I'll unhide it and show it to you. It's a long if-then. The very first thing it's going to do is check this column to see if it's finished or not. If it finds a 1, it's going to put a 3 in. It's going to return a 3. If not, it's going to keep going, and then it's going to go through these one by one, looking at these different time frames and returning the correct number. Here it's returning a 4, here it's going to return a 2, and so on. So this date, 5/15, has passed already. It's behind today's date, so it correctly returned a 4. Then the last thing I'm going to do here is use conditional formatting on this cell relative to the result of this formula. Let me show you that. Here we go. So if F12 equals 0, color the font white. That's this rule down here. If it returns a 1, make it green. 2, yellow. 4, red. I don't need 3 for black because black is the default color. That's the color it is anyway. So now all I have to do is drag this down. It's dependent on this other formula, so it's not going to really work until I pull this one down. And there we go. I don't need this to show, so I can hide it. And now I have my traffic lights calling attention to these dates, just as I wanted, and I'm using a relative reference formula. Let me show you how I did that. This formula is kind of long, so it drops down onto the next row. And that is a way to solve this need.